Good morning, YouTube. Louie here with the Bullion News of the Week. Let's get started. We'll start with spot price. And we have, as of Friday, gold closed up $1.40 to 2006.33, and silver down 35 cents to 30.94, over 31 in the futures market, which I would like to see hold. Okay, looking at, I just want to get on to prices here. Okay, first I want to look at gold prices. What I have here is a shot of GLD, which is the chart that I can pull from E-Trade. It's a proxy for gold, it's paper gold. But where we have gold, what we have here is a 3-month chart with the 100-day moving average, and we can see gold holding steadily above the 100-day moving average. So I think that's pretty good news for gold as it consolidates in here. All right, moving on to silver. This is SLV and a proxy for silver, also with the 100-day moving average, clinging a little more tightly to that 100-day moving average and suggesting we're going to consolidate in this range for a little while. Other news of the week is pretty big news, actually. The largest gold discovery in the world over in China. This report is coming from Popular Mechanics, and I don't want to put any spin on it. I think we have to call it like it is. A super giant gold ore deposit mine was discovered in China. They estimate that the extent of the find could be 1,100 tons. And we don't really care how deep it goes, but I think one of the things that's happening here in the Wanggu gold field is the gold content is extremely rich. And of course, this could be disinformation. You can dismiss it if you want, but I do not want to. China produces 10% of the global production, and I believe they keep all the gold that they mine within their country. But what I thought was interesting here is what they say. Adding some more heft to the already weighty find was the report that the new discovery features 138 grams of gold per metric ton. Okay, if you want to know what the typical grams of gold are per metric ton, this is AI, I can't tell you where they got it, but better quality undermined gold mines yield 8 to 10 grams of gold per ton ore. Okay, so we have got something that is literally 13 times the gold content per metric ton as your typical mine. And, well, that is not a positive for the gold market, so calling it like it is, I think that is a negative for gold. However, it did not seem to move the price of gold when the story was released. So gold still holding strong, still wanted everywhere, and countries wanting as much of it as they can for the reset, whenever that might happen. Okay, so that is the gold story in China. In the economic calendar next week, we have Monday, wholesale inventories, Tuesday, productivity, U.S. productivity, Wednesday, the consumer price index, CPI, and the federal budget deficit. Well, we know that we know what that's going to look like. But CPI, we'll be building up to CPI on Wednesday. We'll have to see how we open Monday morning or Sunday night here, but CPI is a very important market mover. Some people are expecting hotter CPI, that the downtrend in CPI is going to come to an end, and it will get sticky and rise over time. Of course, tariffs, although tariffs are a long-term story, they're not a short-term story. Think 1 to 2 years in terms of the effect of tariffs. But tariffs are inflationary, wages are certainly picking up. And at the same time, we had an increase in the unemployment rate to 4.2%. So that could, if you were just looking at the metrics, let's say we had a higher CPI on Wednesday, coupled with higher unemployment, that signals stagflation, and that could be good for gold. All right, so I have showed you the chart. There is the gold chart, and I see no reason to panic out of gold at this point. I actually think it's a good buy. Moving over to the 10-year yield, the other thing probably helping gold a little bit here and maybe counteracting that China story is the 10-year has been dropping. It is now at 4.15, but that could change dramatically on Wednesday depending on that CPI print. A hotter CPI would mean higher for longer, a pause potentially by the Fed in December this month. And, like that, a lower or flat CPI to projections the downtrend could continue back down on the 10-year. It is surprising that there has been so much buying of long-term U.S. bonds. I think they're extremely dangerous right here. All right, the dollar is up, and this has to do with foreign currencies, and I won't go into that, but 105.97, up 0.25% on Friday, sitting, let's see, well, I mean, it looks like it wants to bust higher, doesn't it? And higher for the dollar could take us up to 114. So we'll have to see what happens with that. That would be very negative for commodities and for silver. Doesn't always happen that way, but that could be. All right, moving over to the U.S. Mint. Of course, they have released their 25 product schedule. I'm just going to focus in on circulating coins for the moment. And this is the mintage of nickels in 2023. 1.427 thousand, 1.5 million nickels made in 2023. If we flip up to 2024, submit. We have got Jefferson Nichols sitting at 69 million. So really, really underproduction of nickels, putting a potential bounty on nickels, certainly on eBay if you can find 2024 nickels, or if you can get a box of them at your bank, but also probably making the uncirculated coin set a pretty good buy. And of course, you're speculating that they will not release a whole lot more nickels next month, but still getting high quality Jefferson nickels in this uncirculated coin set would be something that would grade well and would probably command a nice price in the aftermarket. So if you haven't picked up your uncirculated coin sets and you want to dabble in that, you certainly can. We don't know the mintage yet. However, sometimes the mintage game works against us. And I'm over on, this is brand new information, and you'll want to know this. I'm in my chat room from bestsilvergolddeals.com. The chat room button is at the top of the website there, and you can get in here and mix it up with the guys and gals. But a poster called Brave Companion has posted something that was courtesy, I think, of Silver Cat. Someone on Instagram that I do not know, but they are reporting that the mintage for the 2024 1-ounce silver Libertad BU coins is 718,000. So that's a wah wah wah. That is not what I was hoping for, and if you want to know what the typical mintages are, and I do not know if that's correct or not, there's always a bunch of misinformation when it comes to Libertad mintages. But from Bullion Cat, he has also posted historical mintages. This is more up to date than Wikipedia. And what we had last year was 613,000, so higher than that. 2022 and 21 were low years at 450,000. Actually, we had 3 low years, 20 through 22. Between 300,000 and 450,000. Well, you can go back and study these if you want to pause the video, but 700,000 is fairly high as bullion mintages for 1-ounce BU Libertads go. So there you go. If you're snagging good deals on those, I still think they are valuable coins, and selling in eBay well into the 40s per individual coin. So, it might turn it into a long-term hold, but I was hoping for a low mintage in 2024. Looks like perhaps we have not gotten that. Okay, over to coinnews.net. US Mint reveals 25 product schedule, and let's see if they've noted anything here. Now, if you want to check that that location, coinnews.net, they have put it back into the historical presentation month by month, and a little easier to absorb in this format. So we have USMC metals coming out, the Innovation Coin coming out January 7th. Congratulations set January 9th. American Women's Quarters February 4th. Check out Son of a Silver Stacker for more news on potential low mintage women's quarters. Let's see, we have the Platinum Proof Coin coming out February 20th. More women's quarters. The Buffalo Gold Proof is in the spring. And then the Gold Proof 4 coin set. Okay, that is pretty typical. Let's see, what else do we have? Kennedy bags and Silver Proof set in the spring. We're going to get to the good stuff here in a minute. More women's quarters. Okay, and then we have the superhero coins coming out. Looks like it will start with Batman, which is interesting. I would have thought they'd start with Superman unless they release on the same day. I find it very interesting that the silver comic book heroes are coming out in a 2.5 ounce format. I think that will be very, very attractive. And the gold, they have scaled back to a 1/2 ounce to make it more affordable. I'm not sure what the price will be on that. And then they will also have 1 ounce metals. So the superhero coins, the superhero silver are metals, which they have complete authority over at the U.S. Mint. And then the gold will be coins, which comes through an act of Congress. So that's one thing that Ventress Gibson said she wanted more control over. They slow them down at the U.S. Mint by having to go through Congress. All right, we have the Morgan Silver Dollar and the Proof and Uncirculated coming out. Those, unless they reduce the mintages, that will be a big snore. And then they are following up in the fall with Wonder Woman, both in silver metal, 2.5 ounce, and a 1/2 ounce gold, and then a 1 ounce silver metal as well. So 2.5 and 1 ounce on the silver, 1/2 ounce on the gold. And then we finish up the year with the 2 coin reverse proof set, which is selling like day-old pancakes. Okay, let's keep going here. I had a question from a subscriber, and I think it's a great question for you new guys. And you know, even seasoned stackers can get anxiety when going into a coin shop for the first time. You may not have any in your city, you may only have one, you may have 5 or 10 depending on what city you're in. And boy, they are all different. And the question comes to, you know, is it intimidating to walk into an LCS? And, you know, you want to put yourself in the mind of a brand new collector stacker, someone who has decided that they want to buy precious metals, and they're going to head into the local coin shop to try to support local business. Okay, that's great. And they can also do that on the internet. They could check out my website if they want to get a good deal. But going into the LCS is a valuable exercise, and it could be a little teeny mom and pop coin shop. It could be a very big coin shop. Okay, you know, lots of stuff all over. Typically, they will have the higher price stuff in the cabinets. Those would be collector sets, proof sets. A proof is, you know, something that has been minted to a higher standard and carries a much higher premium, right? That's for collectors. If you're just starting shopping, you want to avoid that stuff. You may be faced with a very, very, you know, nice person who wants to talk. You may be faced with someone who is very busy. You know, these guys don't look too busy here. Look how many of them there are in that coin shop. Okay, now I guarantee you, a place like that, you walk into that place, you're going to pay too much. Okay, they're all nice looking guys. They got their embossed shirts on, and they're ready to sell you some slabbed pre-33 gold or whatever they're pushing for the day. So the deal is when you go into a coin shop for the first time, and this is just my opinion, and I'll try to keep this fairly generic. If they're really busy, and the way that coin shops make money is by buying coins. They buy them and they resell them. Okay, they live on the spread. When a family comes in with a collection from a dearly departed, and you see those people selling their albums, etc., maybe their gold, that is what the coin shop is going to be all about. That is where they make their money, by buying collections at wholesale prices and then selling them at retail prices, or perhaps sending them to the refiner to have them melted for a small spread. But, so if the coin shop is really busy, especially buying, they're not going to want to talk to you. If there's nobody in the shop, that's a great opportunity to strike a relationship with that coin shop, and might be a good time to talk. Now, I recommend that you distinguish yourself from other newbies by, when you go in, bring in a couple $100 and tell them you want to buy some constitutional silver. I would say I want to buy some dimes. The first thing I would do is I would, when he pulls out his dimes or he goes in the back to grab a handful, I would find out if the dimes are a mix of Rosies and Mercs. Okay, if they are, then maybe you'll get a good deal. Ask him what he is selling them for, how much times face. Okay, you can easily see, all over the internet that junk is going in the 23s right now, times face. Now, we can get it cheaper with tips and tricks and eBay rebates and coin shops on YouTube, but generally junk is going in the 23s. If he's selling junk in the 25s, okay, you're in the wrong coin shop. And but if you tell him you want to buy something, you have him pull out his dimes. You say you want to buy, $10 face of dimes. What is that? $200, $250, something like that, and see what he brings out and what he charges. Better yet, when you walk into a coin shop, see if they have their prices advertised on the wall. And I really like that when I go into a coin shop and they've got their buy and sell prices on the wall. Vermilion, I think, does that. He's on YouTube, also in Florida. But if they have their buy and sell prices on the wall, then take a snapshot of it if they don't mind, and see what their spreads are, see what their buy prices are, see what their sell prices are. If they're fair buy prices, you want to develop a relationship with that coin shop by going in periodically and buying something generic. The three things that everybody will ask, and you can totally ask this question: how much is junk silver per face dollar? How much are silver eagles, BU silver eagles? And you want to ascertain if those are 2024s, 25s, or backdates. And how much is a gold eagle, maybe a 10th ounce gold eagle. You just want to get a feel for what they're selling for. And if you can get up the nerve, you want to ask him what he buys for. Another good indication is, how much are gold eagles? How much are you selling? How much are silver eagles? How much are you selling them for? Of course, BU silver eagles, and then say, what's your buy price on those? Okay, so he's probably going to say something like, silver eagles are 36 a coin. Our buy price is 33. Okay, something like that. If he tells you his sell price on silver eagles are $40, you're in the wrong coin shop. If he tells you the buy price, well, it depends on what the condition is and I'll have to see them, and he starts giving you that rigmarole, you're in the wrong coin shop for selling. Now, there can be good coin shops for buying and good coin shops for selling, and typically you'll get a better deal on the internet, but maybe not. Okay, the next thing I would ask him, if he's got time and no one's in the shop, I would say, do you have any circulated silver? Do you have any vintage silver? Do you have any low premium silver? Okay. And he might ask you, what do you want that for? I don't know. My coin shop knows that I melt silver and I make stuff out of it. So I say I'd like to buy some melt. Sometimes they look at me like, who the hell are you? Are you a refiner or whatnot? But anyway, what's your lowest premium silver? And he may pull out a 100-ounce bar. He may pull out some tarnished maples. You don't know, but you also want to try to find out his cheapest silver. It'll be in the back. It may be somewhere he takes it out with a big scoop, and there could be anything in there. There could be, silver art bars. There could be 100-ounce single hard bars. There could be, toned up Libertads. There could be, it just depends what the last guy selling brought in. And often coin shops don't pay premium for old silver, for vintage silver. They'll probably pay you, back a spot, right? Okay, you bring in a 100-ounce single hard bar, you're going to get back a spot. Even if that 100-ounce bar sells for $5,000 on eBay, you're still going to get back a spot. You bring in some little vintage USVI ingots that are selling for $70 an ounce on eBay, you're going to get back a spot, okay? So that's what they do. They don't really acknowledge generally the vintage market. If you're in a shop that acknowledges the vintage market, then you want to ask him what he has for sale, right? And maybe, you get something good for a couple bucks over spot, $3 over spot. But don't be intimidated. And again, if they're really busy, all you want to do is, have a transaction where you buy a couple $100 worth of junk and just see how they treat you and try to chat a little bit. If you think you're going to run into a Tim or someone like that at the coin shop that wants to talk about politics and whatnot, chances are you won't. These guys are there to buy and sell, and when they're busy, they don't have time to talk. And if you're new, they probably don't have time to educate you. And generally, they don't want to tell you what they recommend, okay? Just go somewhere else, unless you have a real chatty coin shop owner, an old timer that really wants to get into it with you. And then again, their perspective may be totally different. You may ask them where you think the price of silver is going. There are some will say it's a great long-term investment and a hedge against inflation, and it'll still buy you a gallon of gas, and so forth and so on. And then there'll be another coin shop that says, I think, nobody is buying anymore. Everybody is selling. Gloom and doom. I think it's going to $25. Well, that coin shop is probably taking anything you sell to him and he's selling it to the refiner. His perspective is, I make a buck every time I sell an ounce of silver to the refiner, and I sell thousands of ounces, and therefore I am not going to be I'm not going to be that optimistic, because I make money when I sell your silver to a refiner. Okay, somebody else who is, a little more optimistic, they may be too optimistic, right? Because silver doesn't always move with inflation, and you could wait 3 years before you get the move that we're all hoping for. And we just had a great move. I mean, silver in the 30s is a great price. So, it just kind of depends. And if you want to go into several coin shops, you'll have a different experience in each one. But find out their sell prices, find out their buy prices, ask them if they have any really cheap silver that you may want to pick up. Ask them if they charge sales tax. Don't ask if you can pay with a credit card. Bring in cash money on the barrelhead. If they're selling silver on a credit card, same price as cash, you're paying too much. All right, I hope that was helpful, and I'll probably get lots of comments about this, but I do find it intimidating to walk into a coin shop. I find it even more intimidating to walk into a pawn shop, a We Buy Gold shop, etc. And I would never go in there to sell. I would go in there to buy and hopefully pay him a couple pennies more than he's getting from the refiner or the big dealers, right? But anyway, well, I don't know what else to say about that. Ask your questions in the comments. I'll try to get back to all of you. I want to thank everybody for being here and watching the videos. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, then subscribe. Okay, and the website Best Silver Gold Deals is live, and get in there and you'll find out where you might get some of your very, very cheapest deals. Okay, guys, I will see you later, and shout out to all members and shout out to everybody in the chat room. You guys are the best. All right, I'll see you later.